So let's jump right in here, and we have where's Kelly? There she is. Okay, sun rising where Kelly is. Yep, Kelly's down under in Australia. So right where she is, the sun is rising. I told you we're all over the globe today. And it's a beautiful thing. Kelly is an amazing person I know from our Masterful Living community. She's a dedicated, prayerful person who has great insight and a huge heart as big as the whole outdoors. And so glad you're here to start us off, Kelly.
Thank you, Jennifer. Good morning. So we place our hands on our hearts. Excuse the cicadas. It's already warm here. We're so grateful to be joined together in this Power of Love Sundays with Spirit. We're so grateful for the power of technology to bring us all together, to connect. We're so grateful for our speaker, for our musician, our speaker, Aisha. Aisha, we bless her today on this day. And Neda, we're so grateful you're joining us from the Netherlands through the power of technology. We bless you. We bless Jennifer. We bless our technical support. And we bless everybody here who's joining us today, allowing themselves to be lifted and shifted. And we share these benefits with everyone because we're one. In gratitude, we let this healing be. And so it is. Amen.
Yeah, you can hear the jungle noises behind Kelly. It's beautiful. And let's have a song from the beautiful Netta. I'm going to introduce her here. So she's a singer and a songwriter. She's been here before, backed by popular demand. We just love everything about Netta. And she is a Course in Miracles teacher, as well as a singer and songwriter. She calls herself a voice liberator, which surely is the truth. And she works with juvenile prisoners. She uses her voice to extend, to remember the love that we are. And she has an award-winning debut album, The Light Has Come. And all the music and the lyrics come from the workbook Listens. Of course, the music comes from Spirit. And she has been a contestant on the TV show The Voice. And she's busy working on her second album. Welcome back, Netta.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi, everyone. Happy to be here again. Yeah, I would like to start off with a song from Workbook Lesson 254. I just saw it on the slide and I was like, oh, yeah, that's a good one to start off with. And that's the lesson, let every voice but God's be still in me. And I think it's a beautiful lesson and song to start off with to really tune in and open ourselves to hear the voice of God during this beautiful gathering together. So enjoy. If you feel to sing along, sing along. And if not, don't. Whatever feels good for you, you're welcome to do. Father, today I only hear your voice. In deepest silence, I come to hear your voice and to receive your word. I have no prayer but this. I come to ask you for the truth. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Father, today I only hear your voice. I come to you to ask you for the truth. And truth is but your will, which I would share with you. And in stillness, hallowed by his love, God tells us of our will. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Father, today I only hear your voice. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Father, today I only hear your voice. Father, today I only hear your voice. Father, today I only hear your voice. Thank you.
Ah, thank you. Thank you for laying that beautiful foundation for us. So beautiful. Thank you, Netta. And just before I introduce Aisha Mason, I would like to let everybody know that we're doing our best to remember to turn on the transcript, the live transcript function that Zoom has. And you'll see on the bottom bar where it says CC, if you're on a computer, not sure about tablets and phones, but if you're on a computer, you'll see the CC button there. You can turn on the transcript for yourself. If you don't want to see the subtitles, if you'd rather have it without, you can just turn off the subtitles, very easy. And then at the end of the service, if you so choose, you can actually save the transcript to your computer. What a great service. So just happy to share about that. And now I'm going to introduce my good friend, Aisha Mason. So I've known Aisha, I've known her as a speaker, a leader, a teacher since the mid 90s. And we've worked together side by side. She is an extraordinary counselor, spiritual counselor. She's a spiritual teacher. She's a community facilitator, and she's an activist. As a spiritual practitioner of New Thought, Ancient Wisdom, she has taught classes and worked in private practice for 34 years. She co-founded Common Unity, the community outreach ministries at the Agape International Spiritual Center, and has taught professional practitioner training at Agape for over a decade. She's a published author focusing on the intersections of social justice, nonviolence, spirituality, and the soul work of social change. For 29 years, she's created programs that support individuals harnessing the power of soul force for personal transformation, social justice, and peacemaking. She served as founding executive director of the Center for the Advancement of Nonviolence and co-founder of Soul Force Trainings after spearheading the launch of the first season for nonviolence in Los Angeles in 1998. Aisha co-founded Acts of Power, the liberation of the African American Soul Training and Community Healing Forum to assist affected communities in responding to loss and trauma. And for 9 years, Aisha has hosted the Morning Review and later the Way Forward radio programs on KPFK radio in Los Angeles. She is a contributor to the books How to Stop the Next War Now and Together We Are One, Honoring Our Diversity and Celebrating Our Connection. She is also the co-author of 64 Ways Resource Guide. Aisha recently retired from the American Friends Service Committee, a Quaker-based international justice and peace organization, where she served as the Associate Regional Director, U.S. West Region, and she supported programs addressing immigration rights, economic justice, and healing justice. And we are so glad to have you here today with us. We're having our own kind of Super Bowl here at Sundays with Spirit. Super duper today. Thank you, Aisha.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's good to be back. I'm really glad to be here on this Super Bowl Sunday and a beautiful Sunday, whether it's you're preparing for the snow in Vermont or here in LA, where the sun is really bright and beautiful after the rain last night. Can I say? So today, I want to talk about how we live in times of uncertainty and change, because 2020 and it looks like the beginning of 2021 were and are anything but what we would consider normal up until now. Last year was a year like no other in my lifetime. And some people might say, well, it was very unexpected. It was surprising. Some people might say mind blowing. Some people might say scary. But whatever you call it, it was not normal. And I think we are it would be fair to say, a tsunami of change. In terms of the climate, in terms of our society, and for many of us in a personal way. It seems like it's all converging at the same time. And it might be big in your life and it might be small in your life, but nothing is as it was. No one's living the life that they were living. We're all adapting to life as it is. Just like we're on a Zoom call now for services, and many of us live a lot of our lives in a chair in front of a computer on Zoom. So the question becomes, how do we get through all this stuff? And how do we stay grounded in the middle of this? Because I think on a meta scale, we're in what has been called the great unraveling and also the great turning. The unraveling of an old system of thinking and an old system for societies to operate culturally, economically, politically, and just there's a huge global wave of change for that. And we're also at the very, very beginning of a new era in human history, in planetary history. And each of us is, I believe, here on this planet answering a call that we agreed to, we agreed to even before we were born. So how do we do that? Because in our everyday lives, it's like, oh, that sounds grand and wonderful and adventurous, but day to day, when we may be living with a lot of people in one space all day, every day, or some of us are living alone, and we're having a wide variety of experiences that we did not anticipate. How do we get through this without judging ourselves harshly, without shooting on ourselves all day, every day? What do we do when unfinished business from our past comes up? Emotional business, mental business that we thought, oh, I handled that, I took care of that, and suddenly, it's back. What do we do when our foundation gets shaken. Let me say shaken. Because I would say human beings, but I like the illusion of certainty. I like the illusion of security. I like to think I have some sense of what's going to happen next. And it's not like that. I remember when I was in practitioner training, I had this moment of realizing, oh, this isn't teaching me to how to have more control over my life. This is really teaching me how to live in the not knowing with greater ease, accepting that I don't know, accepting that things are temporary, accepting that things change, but getting more comfortable in that. And so, to a sense, all of us are being called to that right now. So how do I navigate that? I revisited a book by Alan Watts called The Wisdom of Uncertainty. And I also visited my friend Pema Chodron, Start Where You Are. I love both of those books. And I just got re-inspired. For me, how I navigate this time is really about coming back to basics, like real basics, not getting fancy, simplifying. So it's easier for me to hold on to while everything else around me might be moving. And the basics are being clear about who am I? Who am I? What is my source? And by that, I mean my source of strength, my source of wisdom, inspiration, power, abundance, health. What is my source? And third, why am I here? If my life is not looking like I think it should look, then why am I here? And what is this about? So this is the place of principle that I have to bring myself back to. And I may not understand why everything that's happening is happening. I just have to know that there is a reason. There is an order that I may not comprehend, but there is order. And I can claim that order. I know that the universe, by its nature, by logic, by science, it must be good. That the universe, spirit, the creator, mother, father, God, whatever you call it, it must be good, because otherwise it would be divided against itself. It would be in conflict with itself. And then it would destroy itself, and then we would have nothing. So God is one, life is one, spirit is one, and the nature of that one is good. I come back to that. And I am an emanation of that good. I am made in the spiritual image and likeness of God's good. I know I come back to these basic sayings. I am that which thou art. Thou art that which I am. Emma Curtis Hopkins says, my good is my God and my God is my good. Oh, I love that. My good is my God and my God is my good. I come back to the truth that spirit is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, omniactive. And therefore that means good is all there is. Good is everywhere present. Good is perfect love, and good is active everywhere. I am in the midst of it. It is right where I am, and I am made out of its substance, governed by its love intelligence. The breath within me is the nature of spirit itself, and the love that moves through me is spirit. So in these times when I am making mistakes, and some of us are making what we judge little mistakes, some of us are having big mistakes. It's a good day, it's a bad day. I yelled, I cried, I was impatient. I watched TV all day and did nothing that I needed to get done. Or I didn't show up as my best self. In the midst of all that, we can come back to the awareness that may be the facts, That may be what I did today. That may be what I thought today. But there is that within me that is whole, perfect, and complete. That's the basics. Whole, perfect, and complete. That is who and what I am. That can never be changed. There is that inner wealth that I possess that is untouched, an inner goodness that is untouched. And when I am aligned with spirit, and that simply means I come back home to spirit by my intention, then that good must begin to reveal itself. I must find my way back to myself. And how do we do this? We do this through practice. We use principle and we use practice to come back to self, to find a steady place, an anchored place, a rooted place in the midst of change. I practice with my meditation and my prayer every day. And let me just say, for me, I had this idea, it's got to be 30 minutes. It doesn't count if it's not a 30-minute meditation. And at some point, particularly when I was working, it's like, you know what? Why don't you just sit down and meditate? And if it's 10 minutes, it was a 10-minute meditation. And if it's a 2-minute meditation, it's a 2-minute meditation. And maybe you'll do many of those during one day, and they add up to your 30-minute meditation. Maybe you don't. Maybe you sit down for 10 minutes, Aisha, and it ends up being 30 minutes. But what I got was do something. Don't do nothing because you can't reach your ideal of what you should be doing. So meditate. Do your prayer work. Your prayer may be that centered prayer that moves through you. It may be the reading that you do that inspires you. Just reading a paragraph, a page that inspires you, but it's bringing you back to truth. Your practice is your self-reflection, getting real with yourself, getting honest with yourself, making space for those things you haven't really wanted to look at that are crying for your attention, and bringing your love and your compassion to those places inside of you, shining the light of truth on those hurt, wounded, or frightened places inside of you. Our practice is taking refuge within our true self. It's taking refuge in spirit. It's taking refuge in community, like we are experiencing community in this service today. I love that Pema Chodron says we can make friends with what we reject. We can make space for what we have rejected. And through our breath and our awareness, just allow that shadow, that thing we have rejected, to heal and come back inside of us. And with doing all that inner work, to nourish ourselves every day with beauty, with a few minutes of quiet, with receiving love from others and loving others, giving the love that we have to share, even if it's just how you interact with the people at the grocery store, how you make a phone call to someone that you think maybe they haven't talked to anyone today. One thing that has really inspired me during this time of COVID is the way regular people have thought about their neighbors and reached out to help neighbors who may not be able to go to market, who may be alone, who may have a bunch of kids, and there's like, I'll go babysit for an hour, or I'll take them out for an hour. These are little everyday ways that we share our love and nourish ourselves by sharing our loves with someone else. Even in our meditation, if we simply envision someone that we love, or an experience that we had that we love, or a place that we love, and just allow ourselves to bask in that, that is nourishing to our spirit. And it fortifies us to go back out into the world to meet whatever life is presenting with greater strength and awareness. We have the capacity to do that. To practice in these times that we live in requires that we just keep opening our mind, opening our heart, letting go, and then opening up again. Letting go about what should be, how it ought to be, how it was, and accepting what things are right now. And then envisioning, bringing into our awareness the divine idea of what is possible, what we would like to evolve, to manifest, to reveal itself, and just holding that in love. This is what brings us solidity, steadiness, peace in the times that we're living in. We are living in a time of this unraveling and this great turning into something that is potentially beautiful and wonderful. What we see on the news every day is what's wrong. Primarily, it focuses on what's wrong. But if you look closely and if you view selectively, you will see the countless examples of what's right, what's good, what's beautiful in our communities. You will see ordinary people who are making a contribution every day. You and I are purging what no longer serves us, and we're being nudged by the universe to do that. But we find that we are just, stuff is coming up, and we have the opportunity to release it and to requalify our energy. Because as this new world is being birthed, it's at a different frequency. It vibrates at a different energy. And for us to attune to that energy, we have to let go of the things that kept us locked into that old energy. So this is truly a sacred work that we're doing. It's sacred for our own spiritual evolution, but it's sacred also for the evolution of our society and our planet. We're not here by accident. We are answering a call. We have been called and we said yes. We have this illusion that transformation may happen just like poof, overnight something happens, like people talk about overnight success. But anyone who is an overnight success will tell you there were hours and hours and years of practice and sacrifice, which means to make sacred. There was work, little by little by little, that allowed them to be ready for the opportunity that presented itself and to be at the frequency of that opportunity. That's us right now. We don't have to do something big to help birth this new era. We just do our little part every day. Countless little moments, countless little actions, countless little thoughts that may be invisible to the human eye. But slowly, as conditions become sufficient, the seed breaks through the soil and we are seeing the evidence of something new and beautiful in our own lives, in our own awareness, our own consciousness, and in the world around us. So our daily efforts matter. We are getting stronger, more ready. I just love this quote by Robert Kennedy, who is someone I admire greatly. And he said, few of us will have the greatness to bend history itself, but each of us can change a small portion of events. And in total, all of those acts will be written as the history or the contribution of this generation. our generation. We were made for this time. And I know in my heart, I know we are capable of meeting this time, of answering that call and helping to birth this new and beautiful society that is ready to unfold on the planet now. So as you come back to your practice, your daily meditation, your daily prayer, your daily work to just show up, with love. Remember that you matter. You are helping us write the history of our generation, and we're claiming it as beautiful. As beautiful. I want to thank you for letting me be with you today, to share this time with you today. And I'm going to pass to my sister, Jennifer.
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm inspired. So, as we're going to go into our meditation time here, following up on what Aisha has shared, it strikes me that we really can take in a very sacred way that we have a spiritual obligation to be happy, to be harmonious, to be peaceful. And many times we can get caught up in the spiritual doing and measuring, like Aisha was talking about, how many minutes of meditation and things like that. And we can even judge ourselves and push and punish ourselves to be more spiritual, right? We motivate ourselves with negativity to be more spiritual. Who's done that besides me? Anybody else ever done that? Yeah, right. So, and then of course we're modeling that for other people, that's the spiritual way. You know, we have to remember to laugh. So it's good we can laugh about it, and this spiritual obligation to be happy and to be helpful, as Aisha was talking about in such beautiful ways, so many wonderful examples. It's what it says in A Course in Miracles, in what I call the purpose prayer, that we're here to be truly helpful, and that we don't have to wonder about where to go or what to do or what to say. We never have to wonder about that, because the one who sent us will guide us and provide for us everything that we need. And it's our role is simply to show up, as Aisha was saying, just show up. And it's actually better if we show up without a plan. It's actually better if we show up with just our wholehearted willingness to be of service to the light, and to be of service to the light in our brothers and sisters. And so I'm going to invite you to turn within with me, maybe place your hands on your heart, because we're not paying lip service here this Super Bowl Sunday. We're opening our heart, and we're contributing heart service to all humanity by going within here and examining our own heart, our own choices, our own beliefs, our attitudes and thoughts. And what I'm going to invite you to do now is to look at some place in your life where maybe you are actually making yourself miserable or uncomfortable in some way. Are you in any way punishing yourself or being so hard on yourself that you can't meet your own expectations. I think we can relinquish those expectations right now. And sometimes I find it very helpful to imagine myself like pulling those expectations out of my heart and my mind and rolling them up in a ball. What are the expectations and obligations that we've been making ourselves unhappy with, perhaps punishing ourselves with, chastising ourselves with, feeling that we're falling short, judging ourselves? The greatest gift we can give to this world truly is to be happy. And it's not the kind of happiness that comes because we have a new car, and for a minute the wanting of the new car is gone because we have it. It's not that kind of happiness. It's not the kind of happiness that comes from getting the ice cream. We've been wanting the ice cream and now we have it, so we're happy because we have what we think we want. And so for a minute we just take a break from wanting. It's not that kind of happiness, but the kind of happiness that comes from like exactly what Aisha was talking about, that we are profoundly loved from every corner of the universe. Everything is singing a love song to us. Even the people that we think don't like us or seem out to get us in some way, shape, or form, they are in some way opening our mind to greater insight, to greater understanding, to greater compassion, to greater love, to greater wisdom. And if we're willing to see it, we will see it. We will see that they have come not to hurt us, but to help us, no matter how it looks. And so if we're willing to know that everything works together for our good, what can we be unhappy about except our own false beliefs? What is there to be unhappy about if everything works together for our good? And I understand, the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job, the loss of our home. These things are, we mourn them, we grieve, we have attachments, and we grieve. But if we're willing to know that everything works together for our good, how long do we need to make ourselves sad? It's okay to be happy. Even if everything isn't the way we'd like it to be, we can still be happy. Even if we feel shut in and we can't go out, and we go to the store and the shelves are half empty because of the pandemic, we can still be happy. We can be happy with less. And sometimes the only way to find ourselves to that happiness, to get to that happiness, is to say, Spirit, show me. Show me. I'm willing. I'm willing to let go of everything that's blocking my happiness. It is such a gift to the world for us to be happy, for us to listen to the birds singing and let that be a thrill, for us to look out the window and see the rain pouring down and know that the plants are being watered, that they're feeling nourished and supported. We can be happy for that. For all the families that have had so much time together this past year, this opportunity to love each other unconditionally. Not easy, but we could be happy for the opportunity to have less distractions, and more connections. There's always things we can find to be sad about, always things we can find to be mad about, but there are always things that we can find to enjoy and be happy as well. It just is, what are we looking for? Seek and ye shall find. What are we looking for? Those who hunger and thirst after righteousness are sure to be fed. That's been a guiding statement in my life, is taking that as the absolute truth, that I hunger and thirst for righteousness. I will be fed. I am being fed. There's no possibility that I won't be fed, because the truth is pre-installed. We seek the kingdom within. It has always been. And that just requires our willingness. So wonderful to know that we are the treasure of God already. It's pre-installed, it's preordained. It is that decision to place our attention in a meaningful way on being the perfect givers and receivers of love. So this is our divine opportunity today, is to give away expectations, to give away the disappointment that comes with those expectations, to give away even the need to be appreciated or recognized. Oh, let's give that away. The need to be special, let's give that away. Let's roll all these things up in a ball and place it on the altar. Give it to God for healing. Give it to our own higher Holy Spirit self for healing. These habits and patterns that no longer serve us. Not interested in looking back anymore. Not interested in analyzing anymore. Being of service to the light by being happy, by being peaceful, by being harmonious and kind and patient and honest. We are designed to be joyful no matter what. Joyful no matter what. Unconditional joy. Do we dare to be unconditionally joyous? Do we dare? And so let's see if Neda can give us another song here and put a polish on this meditation.
I'm only here to be truly helpful, and I'm here to represent Him who sent me, and I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, for He who sent me will direct me. Oh yes, He will. And I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. Oh yes, He For he who sent me will direct me. Oh, yes, he will. And I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So grateful. Ah, feels so good just to bask in this space of great willingness gathered together. So we're going to amplify our willingness now by doing this thing that we do every Sunday that's unique to our services, which we're going to do a breakout, small group breakout. And Christine is our pilot today. She's got our breakout room set up. And for those of you who are new to the service, not used to it, here's what we do is we break into small groups and each person can share your inspiration from the service, from the songs, from the meditation, something meaningful to you. I like to take this opportunity to make declarations of ahas and realizations to further anchor them, to anchor decisions that we're making about how we're going to go forward and multiply the consciousness of the all good. And so this is the opportunity. If you don't feel like sharing in your breakout, you do not have to. The most important thing is that you listen with non-judgment, with compassion, with loving support and kindness. That's the opportunity to open our heart to our brothers and sisters and know the highest and best for them. So that's the most high opportunity that you have to give and extend love and to also receive that love back. So we're going to go into these breakouts for a little while, and then we'll see you back here. We'll have more song and more prayer, and away you go. You're going to see a button pop up on the screen there. Just click that button, and you'll go right into your breakout room. If you do not see a button, you can look under the bottom bar under breakout rooms, and that's usually where you can find it. Yeah. So giving you that opportunity, find your breakout room. I'm not sure where you find it if you're on a tablet. If you can't find it, you can always leave and come back. Sometimes that corrects it. All right. And if you're not going to go to your breakout room, then we're going to turn your camera off so that there's a few of us here. We'll get Aisha back, and we're going to have a little dialogue for the folks on Facebook Live. So again, if you're going to stick around, we're going to turn your camera off if you're not in the conversation. So, all right. So I'm going to start with Karen J, as I usually do, and ask you, Karen J, anything you'd like to share? Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, everyone. Oh, it's so beautiful and inspiring. Loved the songs, the one voice. Oh my goodness, that dovetails with something that was happening with me today, which I might mention in a minute. Thank you. And Aisha, I loved your talk. I loved the fact that you embodied the peaceful, grounded, centered message that you were giving. It was just gorgeous. And the call to be happy in the meditation, amen to that. So all feel good here. And I feel inspired to mention last March, when we went into the first lockdown, I got the spirit prompt to go into meditation for an hour every afternoon. And that was on top of a 20-minute meditation in the morning and 10-15 minutes before bed. And I was usually doing more meditations during the day, but an hour every day. And I could feel my heart sink. I thought, oh no, that sounds all too much, all too daunting, much as I love meditation. And I wanted to not hear that, but it was very clear, do it. And I have every day, bar just a handful when I've been doing day-long workshops or there's been something else practical going on. But over 95%, I would say, of the days since last March, I've spent an hour in meditation. And that's completely open, just here I am, Lord. And it was very, very daunting to start with. But then I could feel the collaboration with Spirit. I could feel the service this was giving to my mind and to my ability to support others. And then whatever the human experience of the meditation has been, the overall sense has been so beautiful and so wonderful and so powerful and so joyful, because I felt totally aligned with Spirit. And I do, particularly in those hour-long meditations. And sometimes it's absolute war zone in my being. The ego goes completely crackers. It feels like there is this unimaginably strong urge to move, take my mind away, do something. But because I feel supported by Spirit and I know this is for everyone's good, I just keep going. And then I can feel layers and layers and layers of stuff, ego stuff, being released. But it needs that discipline to follow what Spirit is asking. And so the message I want to give, it's so worth it. If we feel prompted and it feels daunting, to just keep going with that prompt, because we will start feeling the Spirit power with it. And I know how much the ripple out effect is working. I couldn't be doing the work I'm doing with students that I am doing now without those hour-long meditations. So you're saying there's no overnight successes, there's lots of work beforehand. I couldn't be doing what I'm doing now without all that. So I'm very, very grateful. I want to pass this message on. Follow Spirit. Let's follow Spirit. It's always the right thing. Thank you.
Yes, we can notice that resistance and say, I see you, I feel you, and you are not the boss of me. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you, Karen J. Netta, would you like to share something?
Thank you. Yeah, what came up for me, um, the workbook lesson I was on yesterday was I will step back and let him lead the way. And I think that has coming strongly again for me. It always comes back to really remembering that it's so much better when I don't pretend that I think I know what to do and how to lead my life and what step to take next. Um, I I get more and more comfortable with knowing that I really don't know anything. Where in the past I would be very, yeah, arrogant actually with thinking I know better than God and then spirit and everybody else, what to do and how to lead my life. Um, and I came to see, when we hand over everything for the purpose of waking up and just to have that one goal in mind of I just want to have peace. Like let that be my one and only goal. And then everything else will serve that one goal. Once I have that goal clearly in mind, like whatever happens, I just want peace of mind. And then I noticed that, everything, my relationships, my projects, my, everything in my lives, in my lives also. Everything um serves that one goal. And instead of it being from the ego of like, okay, I want to be happy, so this and this needs to happen, right? And we try to find, like you said, find that happiness within getting that car or getting that ice cream or um now it becomes the path of, okay, that the true happiness is who I am. What we also heard, it's our core, it's our being, it's our function. And now let me use everything else in my life to remember that and to get back to that journey without distance, to get back in touch with that. Um, and to notice that whenever we're not in that flow, whenever we're feeling fearful again or upset, it's because again we chosen for the interpretation of the ego, and we actually lost touch with that one purpose of I just want to have the peace of God. I just want to be peaceful. And we sought for a different goal instead. Like we want to be right, or we want to um prove that someone else is guilty, and with that we learn it ourselves. Um so I always love to just notice that with like gentleness, notice like, oh shit, I did it again, like, and not be hard on ourselves and punish, because that can happen too, right? That the ego comes on top of the ego, like, you're so stupid for um you know listening to me. The ego says, you're so stupid for listening to me. And to just be gentle. I love to do it with humor as well, or to just share it with a mighty companion, see like, oh, I did it again, and have somebody there that reflects back to you, like, but it doesn't affect who you are. If you have one or two people around you that you can share whatever it is to, and they'll always reflect back to you. Whatever you do, it cannot change the truth of who you are. That is so helpful. And I think that's why we're gathered here as well, to remember that, of like, whatever we do, it cannot change the truth and the love that we truly are. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Netta. Thank you. Yes, so valuable to be gentle with ourselves. Yeah, beautiful. Rosalind, would you like to share? Yeah, I'm hitting the button.
Okay, there we go. Yes, what a beautiful service. Aisha, your talk had so many pieces that resonate, I know, for everyone, and Nada's music, and Kelly's prayer, and Jennifer's meditation, they all go together. So much is going on for me today, and I just want to take this moment to honor Jerry Jampolsky, who passed away in December. And he's an old timer. He was there with Bill and Helen and Judy Scutch. And he considered himself the fourth of those people. But he affected my life greatly and many, many people. He wrote a book called Love is Letting Go of Fear. And he kind of did what Marianne Williamson did for a later generation, translating the Course in Miracles in everyday terms. But he did what Aisha spoke of, taking that not good enough stuff that is in our heads and turning it into the love that we are, and then translating it and sharing it with others, which is also in the course, and what we're asked to do and what you speak of. And when you suggested the word refuge into truth, I'm putting the truth in there, but you talked about a refuge. And my refuge is the now, because I realized that until my daughter passed away and I was shaken into the now and realized in the now, I'm all right. But now I realize when I speak of the now, people just like I was didn't know what the now is. One thinks the now is those thoughts, oh, I didn't do this good enough, or all the things you mentioned. No, that there's a witness of that now that was complaining and criticizing, but then there's something behind that. That's the local witness, but there is a witness behind the local witness, and that's the field of love. That's the field of God. And I had to learn that is the now. Then the things that you're complaining about and criticizing are already over. And what you're going to do is the future. That field that knows no criticism, that we can enter anyway. If it's meditation, like Karen J is doing, if it's status music, if it's service, if it's reaching out, if it's the now to wake me up from the other moment, whatever way brings us back. The beauty is we know when we're back and we know when we're gone. And that's awakening to me. Thank you. And thank you, Jerry Jampolsky, because he actually changed my life. He said on the stage when I saw him that his favorite line was, peace is my one goal. And then he would add, when your peace is like diarrhea, you will be living that truth, because there's no putting that off, right? And he changed my life because there was another speaker who was at the intermission and who was asking for volunteers to help with children affected by AIDS. And I had small children at home and I didn't see how was I going to help, but I showed up anyway. And it turns out she needed a trainer to train the volunteers. And so I found my calling for many, many years. So thank you, Jerry Jampolsky. He was 96 when he passed in December, and that book is still available for publication, for purchase.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Rosalind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know that history. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Faith, would you like to add something? Nope, let's.
There we go. This has just been like a heart like cracking open service in so many ways, and thank you all for sharing. Rosalind, your share just now just opened up so much for me too as well. And Aisha, I had a chance to be with her on Friday night a little bit with our Agape Friday night gathering, and it was so amazing, and everything is beautiful. Netta, your songs, I think that it seems like you're making them up on the spot. It feels that way because they're just coming out from you. And what I wanted to talk about too was that I was reading in this amazing book that I have called The Way of Mastery. And it's a beautiful channeled text. And um, it's talking about the difference between making and creating. And that we are here to create, not to make. Because making involves planning what one wants based on what one already knows. And creating is that living in that moment, in that now, in that place. And so whether it's in the meditation that Karen J was talking about, I'm thinking that hour meditation a day, and how I can create that in my own life. And I realized for myself that meditation, I do meditate in the morning and in the evening, but that other time is for me sitting in writing my music, being with my music, playing with my music, but being in the moment of it as a now, not trying to make something, but to create something in the uncertainty of what it is in that moment, and to let it flow through me, much as I feel like Netta was doing this. So whether it's making a meal or gardening, or for me sitting in that can be my meditation, that hour that I sit with what is I'm called for. And Aisha said something about that beautiful quote from Kennedy, from John Kennedy, about ours is that small thing that we can do taken together is what creates the change. And so I am going to be asking myself every day what it is, Spirit, that I can do. What is it up for me to place me where I am to be today, what I am to say to create change in myself and in this world. So thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Kelly, would you like to share something?
I can share my view. I can share my nature. It's a misty day, so you really can't see too much, but that's all. There's mountains out there.
So fabulous.
It's beautiful.
Kelly lives in Cairns in Australia.
In Kuranda, yes.
Aisha, we've got time for you to share. Would you like to share something?
I didn't know I was going to be in breakout groups. And I have been inspired by each share. I'm so reminded that I could stand with someone in a line at a grocery store, or getting a COVID shot, or on the bus, and I have no idea of the wealth inside that person. I'm just moved by my fellow human beings right now, and just wanting to look with those eyes more. As I move it through my neighborhood, I'm in a new community now, so I don't know most of the people. When I see them walk by, I want to look with those eyes like, oh my God, what wisdom, what experience, what richness do they have that I can learn about, be that interested in someone. So I'm grateful for that this morning.
Yes, that is a blessing. That's right. Just to be interested in our brothers and sisters. Yes. And, sometimes I share in a prayer that when I'm praying with another person, just like one other person, it will come to me sometimes to say that we are the two or more gathered in the name and the nature of love, that we are a way that God is loving itself. God is loving itself by means of us. God is appreciating itself by means of us. And so that's what we're doing here on this Super Bowl Sunday. We're appreciating the love of God in each and every one of us. Yeah, what a blessing. All right. So how was your breakout? Was it good? Yeah, if you have any ahas, any declarations that you'd like to declare, please put them in the chat so we can all be lifted up and share. Get in, we can ride the coattails of your ahas and inspiration. Thank you for sharing that. And we're going to make a few announcements here. And then we're going to have another song from Netta and another miraculous healing from Netta. And then we're going to have another prayer from Kelly. And then we're going to go on our way. All right. So some announcements from me. Well, yesterday we decided to reopen Masterful Living registration. It was closed for the year, but we are reopening it for just a week. So this is a last chance opportunity. We've had people jumping in already. I got a spiritual espresso this morning. And so if you'd like to get in on Masterful Living, please come jump in and we'll get you situated. We're just getting started. We've only just begun and it is already an exceptional year. There's no question of it. This is our breakout year and I'd love to have you participate if you're interested. So we'll put the link in the chat for you. And if you're not quite sure about joining Masterful Living, it's my year-long course where we really practically apply the teachings of A Course in Miracles in a miraculous way so that our lives are transformed, our hearts are healed, our minds are opened, our relationships are transformed, careers, finances, health. You decide what you're going to put your attention on and we'll help you go for it. So it's a practical application of these truth teachings in A Course in Miracles, in Science of Mind. Of course, all truth is truth. It's the same wherever you get it from. And what is unique about Masterful Living is it's very practical and there's a huge amount of support so that you don't give up and that you really have the healing that you desire. And you can book an exploratory call with one of the spiritual counselors. It's a free call just to ask any questions you have and dialogue with somebody who knows the program's been through the program and can answer any question you have. So you can always book those through the website there. So the link is in the chat. And I haven't for sure decided, but I think I might do a self-love workshop next weekend in honor of Valentine's Day. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know in a couple days, just trying to figure out where in the schedule it can go. So love to do that for a Valentine's Day gift to you, my sweethearts. And what else? I think those are all the announcements that I have. And I can tell you that the service, of course, we do it as a gift to the community. So your donations are really helpful to us. Christine is a volunteer, Kelly is a volunteer, but it does take every member of our staff working, and our staff, of course, is a paid staff. To be able to put these on, do all the graphics and the web pages and the emails and all the different components of it. And to be here live today, GJ is here working on a Sunday. He works every Sunday to help us put on these. We appreciate that. And so you can make a donation. You can make a one-time donation or a recurring donation. And an easy way to do it is to go to acimtexts.com. And you can also sign up for the Course in Miracles text messages at the same time. So those are my announcements. I'm pretty sure that's it. And Aisha, do you have any announcements you might like to make?
I'm going to say I do not.
Are you still taking counseling clients?
Oh, thank you, my dear. I am taking counsel. Thank you. Counseling clients. People can visit my website, aishamason.com. That's simple.
Yeah, I highly recommend Aisha as a spiritual counselor. And I am going to thank you, Aisha. I'm going to turn it over to Netta if you have any announcements, and then you can give us your final song for today. Although, gosh, wouldn't we all love to go to a concert? When can we go to a concert?
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, people can go to netaboyne.com. I have a free voice liberation event coming up end of this month. And a lot of other cool stuff. More singing also, if you like indeed to hear more songs. And I'll also put in a link for my next album. Still looking for some sponsors or just some support to get the album together. So if you feel inspired to help me with that, yes, I just put in a link, or you can just go to netaboyne.com and you see a donate button, or you can send me an email. And every song that I just sang, let me see. Well, the song that I just sang is a little bit more new, but the other ones you can just find on Spotify. If you want the physical version with like all the lyrics and everything in there, you can get that on my website as well. So I think that's it. Yay. And for the last song, can I go into that or did you still? Yeah? Great. So the last song I felt to sing was actually the first song that came through when the whole download of this album started to happen a couple of years ago. And it's from workbook lesson 124. Let me remember I am one with God. And I think it's a beautiful song and lesson to close off with. Yeah, so enjoy. Our home is safe, protection guaranteed in all we do. We can't fail. Our minds contain His thoughts. Our shining footprints point the way to truth. For God is our companion as we walk the world a little while at one with God and with the universe. We go our way rejoicing with the thought that God Himself goes everywhere, everywhere with us. Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God and one with all my brothers and myself in everlasting holiness and peace. No miracle can never be denied to those who know that they are one with God. No no thought of theirs, but has the power to heal all forms of suffering. And everyone in times gone by and times is yet to come, at one with God and with the universe. We go away rejoicing with the thought that God Himself goes everywhere, everywhere with us. Let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God. Oh, let me remember I am one with God. Oh, let me remember I am one with God, and one with all my brothers and myself, in everlasting holiness and peace. How holy are our minds, and everything we see reflects the holiness within the mind, at one with God and with itself. How easily do errors disappear, and death give place to everlasting life. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hearts are open. We are grateful. And just before Kelly closes us out with a prayer, I'd like to let everyone know that Kelly is a spiritual counselor in training at the Power of Love Ministry. Kelly, I'm going to ask you if you are open taking sessions to put your email into the chat, if you don't mind, or people can reach out to Kelly. And one of the things when someone's in the training program as a spiritual counselor, they do take clients on a donation basis while they're in that certification program. So that's a wonderful opportunity for people to get counseling at a discount, and they are served and the counselor is served. Everybody gets served. It's a beautiful thing. Kelly, take us away. And just before, one more thing. Thank you, Netta. Thank you, Aisha. You've made it a beautiful Sunday for all of us. And thank you, Christine, for piloting here and holding down the fort. We really appreciate it. Thank you, GJ. And thank you, Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Let's place our hands on our hearts. We're so grateful and thankful for the message received today, that we are here to be truly helpful, and we give up needing to know what to do. We are willing to be led and guided and to surrender to the Holy Spirit. We are grateful for this reminder, the remembrance of our spiritual obligation to show up in this world in our loving heart. And we bless Aisha for reminding us of this through her vision and clarity. We bless and thank the creativity of Netta. And we bless and thank Christine for her technical prowess, and GJ and everybody working behind the scenes of the Power of Love Ministry. And we bless and thank Jennifer for her vision and her clarity, so that we may remember the truth of who we are. And we seal this service with a sacred kiss. And in grace and gratitude, we let this healing be, because we know that it is done in the mind of God, and we share the benefits with everyone because we're one. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Have a great, great week. Mwah.